Milky Way Express is loaded, so all aboard, babies. Better tighten up your wig for today's trip. It's going to be a wild ride. I'm going to start with this cat. And I don't even know where to start in some places with this cat. He is so far out there. His name is Bobby Calendar, and he did a record. He did 2 records, but the one that we're going to talk about today is from '68. It's called Rainbow. And this record, man, this is the kind where you turn out the lights, you crank up the lava lamp, and you drift into another dimension, babies. I mean, you just go. You take off. This cat is doing like a mixture of jazz and blues and Middle Eastern, Indian music, you know. I mean, he's just smashing it all together. It's just massive conglomeration of ideas. He uses sitar, he uses a harpsichord, he uses a guitar, he uses brass, he uses strings. I mean, this whole mixture is just out there. It's way out there. Some hookah smoking caterpillar told me to dig this LP, and man, I did, and I do, and I love this stuff. This stuff is exactly what I look for. I love this stuff, man. Did I say that enough times? I love it. Yeah, I dig it. It's definitely on to the astral plane time with a track called Purple. Wow, what did I say, man? This guy is a mythical conceptual artist. I mean, he just sort of drifts all over the place. I couldn't quite find out where he came from. Maybe somebody out there could inform me of that. I could really dig that. That'd be really nice. I mean, I would imagine he's from Mars, but I'll settle for somewhere on Earth. He does a freewheeling thing with this jazz thing too, that very reflective of '68, you know, where everybody was experimenting and things were changing faster than, you know, than anything else at that point. And then, in fact, things were changing faster in our culture, our society, and you know, music was way, way ahead of everything. So this is a real good album. I like this a lot. Anybody that's into psychedelic music, heavy-duty psychedelic collecting, I should say, either knows about this guy or has his record. Flying into the window this time, we're going to be talking about a favorite that plays at my pad a lot, man, and it's the Electric Prunes. Now, I'm not going to talk about their studio records, and I know a couple of episodes back I was talking about live recordings from that period, the early stuff, and how it was hit or miss all the time. You know, you just didn't know where things were going to land. It was either going to be somebody out in the audience or it was going to be somebody at the board. Well, this recording is good. It is really good. And it was done in Sweden in '67. I think it was in November. And these guys, man, they are really cooking. They are really just taking it to the hill. A lot of people say that they're just strictly a garage band and a one-hit wonder, but I got to tell you, I don't necessarily agree with that. I kind of think that they're more than just a garage band. They were doing psych, you know. I mean, I think psych all along, but they got kind of pigeonholed. They were straight ahead making sonic vibes that were just unbelievable on this record. I mean, it is just killer stuff. There's really no need for me to talk about the guys because they're so etched into the 60s scene and everybody knows about them, and they've, since this record came out, and I believe it was 2012, two of the members had passed. I believe the drummer and the bass player. But yeah, this record is really happening, man. It's really, really happening. So let's check out this track, and it's called "Never Had It Better." And let's dig on this for a minute. Babies, you see what I'm talking about, man? How much fuzz can you take? I mean, lay it on me. I'm with all that stuff, all the way. I didn't get down to LA during their heyday, but I got to see them in, like, I think it was 90 or 91. They played at a tiny, tiny little record store in Berkeley. And it wasn't meant to do performances in, but they were able to get the band into the back of the store and push their wares out of the way, and didn't really have a dance floor because it would have been great to groove, but take what you can get. And I was 3 feet from these guys, and man, they were just right on the number. Everything was happening. Everything was happening. And after the show, these cats, I mean, they're cool. They are so cool. They're really personable people. I mean, they wanted to talk to the fans. They wanted to hear your take on them, and they just, you know, they were eating it up, man. I mean, it had been many years since they had did their thing, but when they got back together and they were out there playing, it was far out, man, and they were digging it all up. They were eating every bit of it. And like I say, this record came out in 2012, so it's been on the shelves for a while, but here I go again. You need this one. If you're into psych and heavy fuzz, you need this record, man. It's all there is to it. Enough said. Okay. Last stop on the travelogue for today is another thing from Sweden. Not the American band being recorded in Sweden, but a Swedish psych band called Baby Grandmothers. I don't know, man. Name, wow, that's a trip in itself, man. It's like whacked out, but it's cool. It all works. The best way I can sum up these guys is, if you like the Uma Guma album, the live album of the 2 album set that Pink Floyd did, you're gonna dig these guys, man, because they got some freaked out vibes going on, man. They're sending things straight to your cerebral cortex, babies. And it's just 2 albums of studio, mostly with, or I should say, back it up. It's 2 albums mostly of live, and there's 2 45s that were on there. It's kind of a bummer that there weren't more 45s or a whole complete album, but that didn't really ever take place. So, you know, it's worth it anyway. I really dig it. It's, man, they send a shock up your spine. It's, wow, it reminds me of the Predator who's tugging on my tailbone. You dig? It's happening. So, let's check out this track. It's called, what the heck is it called? Oh, Being is More Than Life. That's what it is. Being is More Than Life. So listen a little bit of this, man. See what you think. See what I'm saying? Dig this, man. I mean, whew, you know. These cats are blasting off, and it's like they're trying to touch the rings of Saturn within the first minute of the song, man. I mean, they're just hammering. That's the studio or the live stuff. The studio stuff is just as intense, but live, these guys were massive, man. I mean, they're just doing it all. So I hope you dug that, my little dandelions. These guys are swooping through the galaxy like they own it, and you know, they started out with a different concept. Like, sound familiar? You know, they started out like as an R&B band, and went through some personnel changes, wound up as a 4-piece band, and then they got influenced by Hendrix and Cream, and the new members that went from this band eventually went into a band called Mickey Music Man? I think that's it, Mickey Music Man? I don't know, I'm going to check that out, because I heard about these cats, and got to do a talk about them. They're from the same area. Anyway, to say that these guys were not hallucinogenically influenced is a stretch, babies. It's a stretch. Okay, this is the record. This is Bobby Calendar's Rainbow. He's a cat that still can't find out where he's from. I looked all over this cover, and it just ain't adding up. But it does list a lot of musicians, man. He had a heck of a background, people helping him out on this thing. And but he directed it. He wrote it and directed all of it. So, man, far out, you know, really far out. Okay, this is the Electric Prunes album. Nice packaging, it really is. It's a gatefold. It gives a breakdown of what they were doing in Sweden on their tour. And you know, if you're into it, which, I mean, it doesn't always trip my trigger, but it's on orange vinyl. It's out there. It's not hard to find, but it is so good. This is a record I think is really needs to be in your collection. But once again, I'm not getting any kickback on this, but think about it. This is the Baby Grandmothers from Sweden, and I gotta say, you know, Sweden had quite a psych following going on over there, man. And this record has got some really good info on this. There's the liners have some really killer pictures and a lot of information and a lot of names that I can't pronounce. So that's the reason I didn't throw out names on members today, because I didn't want to butcher it and make it look bad. But check it out. That's pretty much it for today. But before we close, I need to put some thanks out there and mention some names. I want to talk about our illustrious, competent cameraman, Jimmy. I also wanted to say a really big thanks to our post-production princess, queen of the computer board, Miss Nancy. And especially to my musical guru back in Ohio, his cat. I met this cat a couple years ago on a road trip, and young man just got it down. He is knowledgeable, and he's helping me out a lot. And his name is Enio. So guys, with that in mind, till the next time, please hug your sisters and your brothers, because all we need is love. You know, musical trends and fashion trends, they come and go out of style. But babies, peace, love, and understanding never goes out of style. So till the twain shall meet, this is your captain, Rick Strange, saying, we are